If you have any sense, your ambition should be to become truly competent. Do you want to be capable and formidable, or do you want to drift through life vague and ineffective? There is nothing more powerful, nothing more dangerous than being articulate. Words shape reality. To master your tongue is to master your world. It is a moral endeavor. Become articulate and you wield influence. Fail to do so, you remain at the mercy of those who can. Every strength carries its own burden. If you're extroverted, you're likely charming and positive. But that energy can make you impulsive, hedonistic, unable to bear solitude. No matter where you fall on the temperamental spectrum, your virtues are shadowed by potential flaws. Recognizing them is the first step. Deny them and you'll be blindsided. Face them and you gain control. Set a goal. Move toward it. Obstacles will arise. Some daunting, and some you'd rather ignore. That's why you clean your room. Chaos breeds anxiety because it splinters your focus. Order one small corner of your world and you'll clear a path in your mind. People don't suppress what they fear, they simply avoid unpacking it. But unresolved clutter, physical or psychological, limits possibility. We are built to ascend. You climb a hill, reach the summit, savor the view, and then seek a higher peak. That's life's rhythm. Strive, achieve, appreciate, and then push further. But beware, every choice has ripple effects. Unintended consequences are real. What seems like a simple decision often unfolds into complexities you didn't anticipate. Honesty is brutal at first. It forces you to confront your inadequacies with painful clarity. But that truth is the gateway to your real journey. Without it, you're not living your life. You're playing a role empty of meaning. Embrace ambition. Hold a vision in your mind so vivid it pulls you forward. Plot your course. Aim not to be good out of obligation, but because living well is its own reward. Sit alone, ask yourself, what am I doing wrong that I already know I should change? Wait. The answer will come. It won't be easy. But growth comes from voluntarily shouldering burdens. The weight you carry shapes you, and astonishingly, no one knows your upper limit. Value stems from effort. We feel our deepest joy not in idle leisure, but in pursuing a goal that matters. Strive for something just beyond reach. Paradoxically, the goal should be unattainable, always pulling you forward as you evolve. Like Sisyphus, you push the rock uphill, but unlike his myth, your climb transforms you. Your life becomes richer, your spirit stronger. True aspiration reaches beyond the tangible, touching the transcendent. Aim for something that towers over your everyday life. Move toward what's sublime. Life isn't about numbing yourself on a beach with drinks in hand. That fleeting pleasure fades, leaving emptiness and regret. 1 week of indulgence becomes a month of aimlessness and self-loathing. What you want is endless possibility on the horizon, challenges that stretch you, goals that inspire you to become more. Stake your soul on something that matters. Aim high, so high that the journey itself elevates you beyond what you thought possible. That's what it means to live. You climb the mountain, reach the peak, look out at the view, and then what? Surely the answer isn't to settle into comfort, lounging in luxury without purpose. Do you want to be like an oversized infant, bottle in hand, indulging endlessly while the world passes you by? The image is absurd for a reason. Comfort without purpose is stagnation. What you truly crave is to be a force in motion, an active warrior ascending, sword in hand, facing the unknown. That's where vitality lies. That's where life is dynamic and thrilling. People fear the truth. Why? Because it disrupts the moment. Speaking honestly often creates conflict and tension, but therein lies the adventure. Say what you believe and watch what unfolds. You don't control the outcome. That's the point. There's an old notion, have faith in the truth. What does that mean? It means that when someone asks you something, you resist the urge to manipulate your answer for a preferred result. Instead, you pause, think, and speak what you believe. You put your trust in the truth's outcome, however messy it might be. This isn't about convenience. It's about believing that the reality shaped by honesty is better than the illusion built on comfort. even when truth brings short-term chaos. It lays the groundwork for something stronger. How can you be sure this is right? You can't. That's why it's called faith. But experience suggests that the person you become by embracing honesty is someone worth being. Truth molds character, lies rotted. Yes, honesty can bring trouble, but evading truth leads to deeper ruin. Aspiration and responsibility, they're intertwined. Do you need to aspire? Absolutely. Without movement, you wither. Life demands action. So, you must aim at something. Why waste effort on what feels pointless? Watch others. When you see someone stepping up, taking responsibility, what's your reaction? Respect. We instinctively recognize worth in those who carry their weight. Conversely, relying on others for everything, being a burden instead of a bearer, is pitiful. Don't settle for that. Stand up. Care for yourself. Care your family. Better yet, care for your community. That's responsibility. That's purpose. And here's the truth: without a goal, your life feels hollow. Meaning comes from striving towards something valuable. Hierarchies of values aren't arbitrary. They're essential. Something must sit at the top of your priorities, something that matters. Without it, you flounder. Dismissing hierarchies or goals doesn't liberate you, it leaves you lost. People are designed for struggle and challenge. A burden isn't just weight, it's opportunity. Voluntarily shoulder something heavy. See how far you can go. Build yourself. Push your limits. Test what you can offer the world in the fleeting time you have. This isn't a rehearsal, it's an all-in game, and if it's not worth playing, what are you even doing here? Aim high. Aspire to something that demands your best. Carry a burden that shapes you into someone you'd admire. Don't waste your days waiting for them to pass. Live in such a way that when the end approaches, you know you didn't just pass time, you lived, you fought, you mattered. Make it worthwhile. It took me a long time to grasp this truth. Belief governs emotion. When you act in alignment with who you think you are and what you expect, and reality refuses to cooperate, when things don't go as planned, your body reacts like it's facing a threat. Your system shifts into high alert, ready for anything. It's as if you've wandered too far from the warmth of the campfire into the cold, dark forest, alone and exposed. You don't know what's out there, but you know something could strike at any moment. So what does your body do when you have no clear path forward? It prepares for everything. Fight, flight, freeze. Every option opens simultaneously. But that readiness is expensive. It drains you mentally, physically, emotionally. The cost is profound. There's an entire body of research detailing how this kind of stress response corrodes you over time, how your health, focus, and resilience crumble under the weight of chronic uncertainty. Your body isn't designed to live in a state of constant emergency. It's meant for bursts of action, not a life of perpetual tension. That's why people gravitate toward predictability. We seek environments where our actions yield expected outcomes. When you know that what you do will produce the results you desire, you feel secure. That's why shared values and cultural norms matter. Being around people who understand you, who see the world similarly, brings relief. There's less guesswork, less vigilance. We're built to crave stability, even those among us who are naturally adventurous or open to new experiences. There's a limit to how much uncertainty anyone can bear before it becomes unbearable. Why is that limit so strict? Because the stakes are high. Pain, injury, fear, even death. These are not abstract possibilities. They're visceral realities your nervous system is wired to avoid. That's why we're sensitive to negative emotions. They aren't random inconveniences. They're survival signals. Anxiety tells you something might hurt you. Fear tells you to stop and recess. Ignoring those signals isn't bravery, it's recklessness. Respect them, but don't be ruled by them. The point isn't to eliminate fear or uncertainty. That's impossible. The goal is to build yourself into someone who can withstand them. Anchor yourself with belief, but be willing to adjust when reality pushes back. The world won't always bend to your expectations. but you can strengthen your capacity to navigate its unpredictability. That's the challenge, that's the game. And it's one worth playing.